Morning, everybody. It's Bernie Leahy from Leahy Keene Real Estate. We're at Mid-West Design and Construction office in Medicine Hat with some very special people. This is our first podcast for Mid-West Design and Construction. And we thought it would be a great idea to meet with some people that are using their services and that we can kind of go from start to finish with some of the projects. And so this is our first kick at the cat. And we got two guys that are with us that are really good people to be on the first podcast. Although
one of them anyway.
Although one person is a little bit shy about all this. And but we've settled them down. That person is the principal of today's podcast, which he doesn't like that word, but and that's Dr. Matt Gibb. Dr. Matt Gibb is a local dentist who is in the process of getting a new building built for him and his partner, Dr. K. We were on site this morning. We took some video, had a little chat, walked around the site, and that will be included in the podcast. Tyson will organize all that. And also with me is the manager of Mid-West Design and Construction, Guy Bellis. And so we're just going to talk about the process, and I'll let Dr. Gibb start with that, and he will tell us the story about how we got to Mid-West Design and Construction. This is a very exciting time.
It is an exciting time. Thanks, Bernie. So my problem is I can be a little long-winded, so you just hustle me along if I'm doing too much talking.
No, you were worried that you wouldn't be able to speak much about this.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
I turn into story
Once
mode,
he gets going, it's good.
So, again, it just depends how far back I go, because lots of things over the years have kind of tied into this project. I'll just a tiny little background, it may be helpful anyways, for those that don't know me.
Yes.
Dr. Matt Gibb is my name. I work with my partner, Dr. Dallin Kay. Currently, we're practicing at Gaslight Dental, downtown Medicine Hat. I've been practicing at Gaslight Dental for 12 years. And I've been an owner at Gaslight Dental for 11. And when I first moved into the office, I kind of laid some ground rules with the partners. I said, I don't know if this is going to be my long-term home. The space wasn't quite adequate for what I saw as my, everyone's got kind of, we put a vision, put something on the wall or whatever, but, kind of how I wanted my, my practice to go, right? I'd set some goals for myself, and the space wouldn't allow me to do that permanently. So I stayed there for a while. And the process there, one of the partners retired, and I bought their practice and brought in Dr. K to work for me. Mm-hmm. And then a number of years ago, we formed a partnership and we began working together. And at that time, we realized that we were really, well, even before then, we were really pushing the boundaries on what our space would allow us to do. And so it was already a long time ago that you and I started looking at commercial space in Medicine Hat. And we looked at quite a few options. We'd get, excited about spaces, and then that would kind of fade away for a while, and we'd take a few months off and then look at more and more. And over the years, we looked at lots of opportunities, but never really found something that felt good. For lots of reasons. One, I know that wherever I'm working is going to be a place that, I need to be happy at, right? Look at spaces that don't have great lighting or great windows, and I always think to myself, how exciting am I to work 8, 9, 10 hours a day in a box? And so that was one of these criteria. I want natural light. We want it to look, we want it to not feel like every other business. And so as we looked at more and more spaces, we just never really found a place that ticked all the boxes. And so then we started looking at, new construction options and hoping to find something that would meet all of our needs, provide a great place for us to look after our patients, and also keep, ourselves and our staff happy. And I think we've kind of found a pretty good opportunity to meet all those, check all the boxes sort of.
Yeah. So we were on site this morning and we laid out this piece of paper that Tyson will show in the podcast, showing where the chair would be, and all that planning just doesn't happen overnight. So who helped you with that design? Because you just don't, phone some guy and say, hey, like, there must be a company or somebody that does that.
Yeah. So, to start with, building a dental clinic is extremely complicated. I think that's fair. Extremely complicated. And probably somebody builds a skyrise or something and they scoff at that. But for us, at least, especially without lots of experience, there's lots of things that go into it, and it needs to be done right. You hate to, pour a concrete slab and say, oh, geez, we got to get all the plumbing in there somehow. That was a mistake, right? So you really have to have everything organized and controlled. And so what that does mean is, Mid-West has helped with a lot, and they've been a great quarterback on this project. They've really communicated with, dental supply companies. They've, we used a company to do the interior. So Mid-West designed the building, and the layout for the building. We used a separate company that specializes in dental clinic design, basically for the interior design, and so, we've got Mid-West. We've got multiple suppliers of X-ray units, chairs, cabinetry. And so, like I said, Mid-West has really quarterbacked the project. They've been there and really helped us to kind of get all the right people communicating so that things move along well.
That's important. Perfect. I remember the day that I brought you here. And, we really didn't know, either of us really, where this was going to go. And how helpful was it to be able to meet with the team here? Because that's what I really like about this place, is that I can confidently bring somebody here with an idea. They can meet with the team. And when they leave here, many questions are answered that they would have never had any idea about. But they can leave here confidently, whether it's a yes or no, that they know what's going on.
Yeah. No, I think that's, that is a big part of it. I personally have loved working with Guy. He's just made everything so easy. He understands that I don't know everything, and he's made it pretty simple. And so, yeah, I think that that human connection. That's important everywhere, right? In all the relationships we build, but that has been nice here, right? And so, we miss that in other places where it's harder to make a for example, the dental design company that we used, they're a US-based company, and I think that the technology that we have nowadays does make it a lot easier to connect with those people, but we don't have personal connections with them, right? We don't get to sit down, and having Zoom meetings, you don't make the same kind of connections as you can elsewhere, and so that there is something to be said about having that in-person, face-to-face meeting with
communication is huge in this industry too. It means the world, because it just there's never anybody that really has to sit around and wonder. And with Mid-West and with Guy, that's one of his major attributes, is that he's really big on that stuff. So again, when I bring somebody forward and I bring him here, I have a lot of confidence that they're going to be looked after, and it's going to be good. And
appreciate that.
That's important to me. So we haven't let Mr. Bellis speak yet.
I think I just did.
We're going to allow him to speak because this is his office.
That's generous of you.
So, Guy, I've already spoken about you, and Guy's been in Medicine Hat a couple of years now.
Yeah, just over 2 years. Huh?
And huge difference in our industry in Medicine Hat, and it's early, but he will make an impact for sure. And as time goes on and we do more projects, not just the ones I'm involved with, but there's many others that I'm not. So I see really good things happening for Mid-West and Medicine Hat. So you come to Medicine Hat and just give us a little bit about your background in the construction industry.
For sure. So first of all, I guess I'll say I'm just a small part of the team here. That's
And it
really,
is a good team.
Yes.
You're right, buddy. Sorry about that.
We have a very special team, and they're the ones that are making it happen out there. Russell out on site, and Pam as our project manager. You know, dotting the T or crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and ensuring that things are happening where they're supposed to be. And you know, it's been a pleasure working with you too, Matt. Thank you for your confidence in us and allowing us the opportunity to build you such a nice building. But just regarding our company, so we're part of the Southwest Mid-West Design Group.
Yep.
So basically we have 4 regional offices across Alberta. Mid-West started here in 1980, right here in Medicine Hat. Fred Keck and Ed Law started the company, and from there was a Southwest office that opened in Lethbridge, and we also opened a Southwest branch in Grand Prairie, and now there's also a Mid-West office in Calgary. So I was fortunate enough to join the group here about 2.5 years ago, and prior to that I was in new home residential construction for about 14 years. So it's been a great transition. Moving to Medicine Hat's been just amazing for me and my family. We love the community. It's got a really special feel to it. Like, we just felt right at home as soon as we moved here, and there's just a lot of opportunity here, I think, for growth, and you know, having an opportunity to build something like we are for Matt. I think that's a great fit for us and our company as a design builder, general contractor, where we can basically just take an idea from concept right through to completion, and effectively be a one-stop shop. And you know, that's really where our strength is helping people like Matt and Dallin to achieve their goal and their dream. And you know, you've been real helpful too, Bernie, in facilitating that process. And we're really excited about the project. Base building's coming along. It's nearing completion, and then now we're going to move on to the interior design, complete the tenant improvement work. So everything's on track. Everything's on schedule. It's looking good, despite all, you know, some of the hurdles in the supply chain out there. But you know, things seem to be lining up quite well, and we're also just really excited about the entire project itself, because we are also responsible for doing the site work over there.
Yeah.
So this, just so everyone knows, this dental office is the first of 4 buildings that's going to be over on a new, probably the most exciting new commercial development in Medicine Hat, I would say, right, Bernie?
Oh, for sure.
Southlands Common. So great opportunity for anyone looking to, you know, get into any kind of retail business. You know, it's basically attracting professional type businesses like dental offices and medical offices and things like that, and great high profile location in the south where a lot of the action is. So and
we've got some other stuff that's you know, just in the infancy stage,
right.
But I feel good about it. I think it'll be good. And you know, we were on site today, and I guess they'll be pouring the concrete on Monday.
Yeah, for the slab. Yeah, you betcha.
And what was very impressive to me is they didn't really know we were coming there, and we could have had a picnic on the floor.
Yeah, we commented on how nice of a site it was, right?
Yeah, and so clean. I mean, the rebar would have been uncomfortable, but we could have sat on the floor there and had a picnic. It was perfect. I was very impressed.
Yeah, and again, Russell, you know, he needs to be commended on how he's managing that site, and I think that reflects, you know, in all of our workmanship. I mean, first impressions are everything, right? So high profile location like that, lots of traffic driving by, and we have to be respectful of the neighborhood as well. As lots of high density condos in that area, so we don't need debris flying around, and you know, people are going to drive by there and perhaps complain, so we don't need that. And I think that just reflects on the quality of the work we do in general.
When you talked earlier about the team at Mid-West, that's a thing that hits home with me often, is that when they come here, you know, it's from Vera to David to Russell, as you say, and Pam, and then the workers, the guys that are out in the field. The team concept is really big here, and actually the confidence when people leave here, whether it's the customer or the realtor, and that's really hard to do, and it's hard to maintain that, and it takes a lot of work. You either have it or you don't, and they have it here, and so you should be very proud of that, my friend, for running a good ship. And now we're going to be following along in Dr. Gibb and Dr. K's project.
So I haven't been on site for a long time.
No?
No, it's exciting.
Sparkling in there.
It's lots happening here, right? It lets us do a couple really important efficiency things. So this office is built to house 14 dental units. If we'd let the cabinetry guys design it, they'd say no more than 10. So we have a ton of, right? That's almost 50% more efficiency in the space. And your turnover is much faster. Whereas right now, I do a procedure in a room, and then I go and sit at my desk while somebody cleans everything and puts everything away. Whereas now, I'm gonna do a procedure, and now I've got more space to go do another procedure, and somebody just is gonna pack up that cart, take it somewhere else and clean somewhere else. And now the room can take another patient much more quickly. So for us, from efficiency, it's a big win with efficiency.
Oh, big time.
And we demoed a couple. We went to an office in Calgary that's designed in this style because we were a little nervous about it because it's new to do it that way, and it does feel a little more narrow, especially in a smaller room. But here with all the windows we've got, and the high ceiling is gonna make it feel so it's good still, right? So even though they are narrow, you're still gonna feel. It's not gonna feel like a pop for sure.
Well, there'll be TVs, Matt, in these.
There will be.
Yeah, right now they're on the sidewall potentially, but there's a chance that they could go on the ceiling as well in the track
I
lighting.
think in general we're gonna have it on an arm. It's a lot nicer to have it on just an arm that swings out that's completely right. So then you're sitting up and it's upright. You're lying back, and we can bring it out over top of you if you.
More potential for adjustment.
Right. Which is good for patients and good for us too, right? Because so often, the 20 years ago, the way they did that is just mounted at an angle up in that top corner, right? And so now you're like this when you're sitting, and you're like this when you're lying, and that's now I'm trying to, I want your head up. I want you looking up so I can work, and so it's a good solution. It's an ergonomic solution for dentists too, which is nice.
Well, I think it's very impressive. And clean. You guys keep it
Yeah, it's a
clean.
nice
This is
site.
amazing. We'll keep everybody kind of posted in the progress. And then the day that Dr. Gibb opens, maybe the day before, we'll also have a podcast on site. And we'll go through the facility. And the first day he opens, I'll be getting 4 crowns.
Is that what you...
And I've been given a special deal. Full price times 2.
While doing a podcast.
I suggested that we do the podcast while we're doing the crowns, which I think would be a lot of fun.
That would be entertaining.
That would go in the dental journal.
It's the way it goes. But it comes back to, what Guy said before about his team, right? I mean, I told you before, I'm not that special, but my team is amazing. I got a pretty great team. So
We're dealing with a dentist that's not special. We have deemed you to be special, Matt.
thank you, I appreciate that. But,
You're a very important
but
part.
I got a great team.
Speaking of your team, I think they're pretty pumped about getting into the new building too, right?
Yeah, actually, I was sending. We had a little group chat, so we took some pictures this morning and was sending them, and
Nice.
everyone's really excited
Awesome.
about a change of scenery. Our clinic is dated, and it'll be nice to have room to do everything that we'd like to be doing, and new will be amazing. So
And that's one of the things you've kind of thought about in your design as well, is like having some nice space for your staff to kind of gather and have a good time while they're working there, right?
well, and try and make the most of the space that we have, right? So a staff room for lunch, but designed so that if you need to do training or anything like
Exactly,
that, it's set up to be kind of dual purpose. So
Yeah, I think you guys have thought out that design very well.
Yeah.
gives you kind of an opportunity for growth down the road, and satisfies your demands for today as well. So
Yeah.
Well, Matt, it's been a lot of fun. And I don't know if you've noticed, but whenever we get together here on site, we have a lot of fun.
We do have a lot of fun, Bernie.
And other than you guys tease me sometimes, but
Sorry.
I'm over it now. But we do have a lot of fun. And I was actually really excited to see that this morning. I had no idea that the plumbing was in like that. And that was a lot of work. I'll tell you what, that plumbing is not
a lot of
nothing
rough-ins in a dental office.
A lot of rough-ins, and I like, the electrical. Everything has their electrical, and I thought it was sharp up there. Really good.
Yeah, it looks great.
So we're going to, as I said earlier, we're going to have another podcast, or maybe another one, depending on how it goes in time. But we will definitely have a podcast the day before opening, or however the schedule works, so that we can go through the building, also talk more about the construction. And but anybody that's watching the podcast, if they have any questions about Mid-West Design and Construction, Tyson will have the number on the screen, or can call me anytime.
Stop in too.
Or stop in
for coffee.
Yeah.
We might even have some donuts.
Yeah, if you're lucky, just a
There's only
donut.
one problem with Midwest. I must confess, is they have donuts here sometimes. And what they'll do is they'll phone us, say, Bernie, we have donuts. So this has been a great day. And like I say, if you want to reach out to Midwest, call Guy, or you can call me. I think if you have any idea, if you have a thought, or you just want to run something by, you'll be welcomed with open arms here. It's a great place, and I think that these are the people who can lead you in the right direction and answer most of the questions, if not all of them. So
I'll also speak for you, Bernie, in that if you're thinking of doing any type of commercial real estate, Bernie's team is the top in town here for guiding people and having the land opportunities available. So feel free to reach out.
no donuts.
Well,
Donuts are off.
coffees though. You do like after coffee.
No, we will find time to sit down, and but thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy my job. I have a lot of fun, and this has certainly been a big thing for me, for Dr. Gibb and Dr. K's office, and it'll be one of the highlights of my career for sure. And
Awesome.
We'll bring a lot of good dental service to that area, and it's all positive.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned, and we'll be back with some more podcasts and some more social media about the project. And until that time, everybody take care.